Hello everyone. I know you've seen a lot about the Israel Hamas conflict recently, but did you ever wonder why it even happened in the first place? I'm Shrandash, and in this video, I'm going to be covering the history of Israel from ancient times till the Roman conquest of Israel. So let's get started. The history of Israel began when early humans first settled there 1.5 million years ago. Israel would also be the first place settled by Homo sapiens outside of Africa. In the 10th millennium BCE, the Natufian culture emerged, an archaeological culture in the region of the Levant. After 8,000 more years, the Bronze Age arrived to Israel, and the Canaanite civilization soon emerged. Canaan was one of the cradles of civilization, alongside Egypt, China, and India, and was extremely ahead of its time in terms of technology. Canaan was also a Semitic civilization. Civilizations like the Israelites, Edomites, Moabites, Phoenicians, and Carthaginians can all trace back their origins to the Canaanites. A northern outgrowth of the Canaanite civilization soon became the Israelite civilization, which were basically just the ancestors of the Jews and Samaritans. Israelite religion was also the common ancestor of all Abrahamic religions, including Judaism, Christianity, Islam, etc. The Israelite civilization then developed into the 12 tribes of Israel, and after that, finally became a united polity, which was the United Kingdom of Israel in the year 1047 BCE. The United Kingdom of Israel then split into the Kingdom of Israel and the Kingdom of Judah in the year 930 BCE after Jeroboam's revolt. The kingdom of Israel was conquered by the new Assyrian Empire in 722 BCE, and the kingdom of Judah was conquered by the new Babylonian Empire in 586 BCE. The people formerly from the kingdoms of Judah and of Israel that were forcefully sent to Babylon and Assyria after their defeats in their respective wars were allowed to return back to the land of Israel, specifically Jerusalem, after Babylon and Assyria were captured by the Achaemenid Empire. They also built the Second Temple in Jerusalem. The return of Babylonian and Assyrian Jews to Israel was arguably the earliest form of Zionism, as they wanted the same thing as 20th century Zionists had wanted, and that was to return to their holy land, their home, the place where their ancestors were from, the land of Israel. In 332 BCE, the Macedonian Empire conquered the Achaemenid Empire, which included the province of Yehud, aka what the Achaemenids named Israel as. This event started a long religious struggle that split the Jewish population into traditional and Hellenized components. This struggle was similar to the current struggle between Muslims and Jews in the land of Israel, except it was between two different sects of a religion instead of two separate religions. When the Ptolemaic kingdom and the Seleucid Empire both gained independence from the Macedonian Empire after the Wars of Diadochi, they both vied for control over the region until the establishment of an independent Jewish state in 140 BCE called the Hasmonean dynasty after the Jewish Maccabean revolt against the Seleucids. The Maccabean revolt started in 167 BCE and ended in 140 BCE when they finally won against the Seleucids and established an independent kingdom. The independence of Israel/Judea after about 400 years was a momentous occasion for Jews, with even the festival of Hanukkah being celebrated in honor of the capture of Jerusalem. So, let's get back to the topic. The Hasmonean dynasty remained a Seleucid vassal until 110 BCE, because it would most certainly be recaptured by the Seleucids, who were a much more powerful kingdom if it had bad relations with them. It remained a fully independent kingdom from 110 BCE to 63 BCE. It was a client state of the Roman Republic from 63 BCE to 40 BCE and was a Parthian client from 40 BCE to 37 BCE. The Hasmonean dynasty was quite short lived, as it survived for just about 100 years and wasn't even fully independent for about 50 of those years. In the year 37 BCE, Herod the Great was crowned King of the Jews by the Roman Senate. This marked the end of the Hasmonean dynasty and the start of the Herodian kingdom, which was basically just a Roman puppet monarchy. Even though the Herodian kingdom was still technically somewhat independent and was just a Roman client state, it was still much more connected to the Roman Republic slash Roman Empire than the Hasmonean dynasty. In the year 4 BCE, King Herod the Great died, and the Herodian kingdom was divided among three of his sons and his sister into the Herodian Tetrarchy. King Herod's first choices to be his heir, Aristobulus and Alexander, were executed, and his oldest son, Antipater, was executed after being convicted of trying to poison Herod. The now elderly Herod revised his will to make his youngest son Antipas the new heir. During Herod's fatal illness in 4 BCE, he created an even newer version of his will to make Herod Archelaus the king of Judea, Idumea, and Samaria, to make Herod Antipas the ruler of Galilee and Pera, to make Philip the ruler of Gaulanitis, Batanea, Trachonitis, and Oranitis, and to make his sister Salome the ruler of Iamnia, Azotus, and Phasaelis. Archelaus had the title of ethnarch, Salome was a toparch, and Antipas and Philip were tetrarchs. The Herodian Tetrarchy had even stronger relations with Rome, with one of its main reasons probably being because it wasn't a united monarchy, like the Hasmonean dynasty or Herodian kingdom. In the year 6 CE, Archelaus was removed from the position of ethnarch, and his holdings were fully annexed by the Roman Empire as a province of Judea. Keep in mind that Israel slash Judea was a Roman client state for a long time by then, but it was the first time that central Judean territory was annexed by the Romans, although certain former non central Hasmonean slash Herodian lands like Decapolis and southern Phoenicia were annexed by the Romans before. At about the same time, Salome's territories were also annexed into the province of Judea, but she was still nominally an autonomous monarch of her lands. In 10 CE, when Salome died, her semi autonomous lands became fully integrated into the province. In the year 38 CE, the lands formerly owned by Philip were given to Herod Agrippa. After some negotiations, the Nabateans, who somewhat controlled that area, also withdrew, leaving Agrippa and the Romans fully in charge of that area. In 39 CE, Herod Antipas was exiled and his former holdings were transferred to Herod Agrippa's monarchy. In 41 CE, the territories of the Roman province of Judea were transferred to Agrippa, who ruled as the king of Judea. In 44 CE, Herod Agrippa died, and his so called kingdom of Judea was re annexed into the Roman Empire as a second incarnation of the province of Judea. Nothing really happened for about 20 years of Roman rule until the First Jewish Roman War. In 66 CE, a revolt, now known as the First Jewish Roman War, began. It was caused by the horribly oppressive rule of Roman governors, the widening gap between the wealthy Roman aristocracy and the downtrodden masses, and religious tensions between Romans and Jews. An example of the incompetence slash oppressiveness of the governors is when Governor Gessius Florus seized money from the treasury of the Second Temple and arrested numerous innocent senior Jewish figures. Anti taxation protests and clashes between Jews and Roman pagans, similar to current clashes between Muslims and Jews, further escalated the conflict. Most people would think that all Jews would unite against the unjust Roman governors, but they'd be incorrect. The Judean provisional government and the Zealots fought separately against the Romans and even fought against each other in multiple occasions. During the early phase of the war, 66 to 67, the Jews, mainly the Judean provisional government, seemed to be winning the conflict, but that all came spiraling downwards. The infighting between both Jewish factions led to the collapse of the provisional government in 68 CE, which would prove costly for the Zealots, as now they were all alone against the Romans. The Zealots, who didn't have any allies, lost battle after battle against the Romans. They even lost Jerusalem, the center of the revolution and of Jewish culture as a whole, to the Romans in 70 CE. The Romans burnt the Second Temple, the center of Judaism all around Judea, a structure that had survived for almost 600 years, a structure that stood since the Achaemenids till the Herodians to the ground. This was the biggest loss for the Jews yet, as both a military loss and a cultural loss. Some insignificant Jewish forces remained, but even their last pocket in Masada was crushed by the Romans. The war did end as a Roman victory, but Jewish resistance wasn't even reduced a little bit. A small, scattered protests and rebellions continued to happen for a long time until the Kitos War. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this as much as I made while making this video. Please like, subscribe, and stay updated for when I eventually upload part 2, containing the history of Israel from the late Roman period to the Byzantine period, and even to the Islamic conquest of Israel. Bye!